Good morning, lunatics. Welcome to Morning Java. Morning Java brought to you, as always, by our friends at Get Go Cafe and Market, where Taylor, if you're like me and you want to look good in a wedding suit, you do the better eating. You go, you get a salad, you get chicken on it, you get a little bit of cheese because you're eating better, but...
Yeah,
you know.
I'm not going to be wearing a wedding suit, but I like their wraps. Their wraps are pretty good.
I'd like to see you in a wedding suit. Let's talk about a different kind of suit.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about a hockey suit, sweater for those of you out there. But I want to know right now, because a lot of people are kind of upset that Teddy Blueger hasn't really gotten his shot yet with the Penguins. What is stopping him from coming up, and who, if anybody else, is also ready to maybe get a shot?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there needs to be a spot for him, and I've been calling for him all season too. I mean, he's ready, and he told me he's getting kind of frustrated. He's ready. He's driven. This recent time, though, when it was Hornquist and Aston going down, I mean, Wilson was the right call. I've been calling for Blueger all season, but in this instance, if it had been any other forwards going down, sure, bring up Blueger. But Wilson plays a style closer to Hornquist and Aston, so it had to be him.
Yeah, and I actually kind of like Wilson's game, and
Yeah.
I liked him with Derek Grant while he was a Penguin. But there's another guy maybe who you actually wrote about, if you guys read on Monday, who is not just maybe in that same build as Wilson, but who thinks he might be ready for a shot too.
Yeah, Anthony Angelo. I know a lot of people have been calling for him too. He's in his first full pro season, so not quite as much experience as Blueger. 6'5". He plays so physical. He'll fight too, but he's very smart about picking his fights. And I mean,
He even beat up a Samuelson.
He did off sun. And when I talked to him, like I kind of asked him about the Wilson call up, and he said, like, I mean, he looks at that and he's like, I can do that too. So and that wasn't like disrespecting Wilson. He said Wilson's such a good player. He's a great leader, great guy, but he's ready to come up too. He feels.
And he's a system guy. I don't know if everybody knows this, but Taylor's who everybody on staff goes to when they need to know anything about the depth of the Penguins, the NHL systems for how you call guys up, send them back down. She's written primers for the site for you guys. What I want to know is the depth of the Penguins system in regards to goaltending, because they just signed Casey DeSmith, and what's that mean for him and for Tristan Jarry?
Yeah, so a lot of Jarry's probably going to be moved. That's you can't keep him in the AHL next season. So I mean, this season maybe, but I mean, after him, there's nobody really. They have one other goaltender on an NHL contract who's in the pro system now. It's John Muse, and you can't go into the playoffs with John Muse as your third goaltender. He's getting yanked and wheeling. Like, he's 30 years old. He's not really a prospect. They would need to get someone back if they trade Jarry.
Yeah, and Jarry's a guy who we saw last year,
Yeah.
and we saw him a little bit the season before
Yeah.
in terms of being either the emergency guy on the bench when there was an injury, or just being the guy when there's an injury. So he's right now they have to keep him on the roster, but for next year, as you already mentioned, he's got a one-way deal, correct?
Yeah, and he has a backup that he's kind of, Anthony Peters, he's kind of sharing the time with in Wilkes-Barre, but he's on an AHL deal, and he's not someone that would be ready to sign an NHL deal and be that. So, I mean, they need to get someone. Anthony Durio, Alex Durio, he's the only other goaltender prospect in the system, and he's in juniors.
Yeah, he's not at the pro level.
He might be going pro in the spring, depending on when his junior season ends and when Wilkes-Barre, when they end. But I mean, he's not going to be ready until next season.
No,
so
he's a guy with promise. I mean,
Yeah.
he's stolen games, as Taylor's written about, on frankly a bad team.
Yeah.
But what do they maybe need to bring in if they do trade Jarry then?
You'd need a veteran goaltender to be the third goalie, and I mean a veteran goaltender for next season, because if Alex Durio is going to be making his pro debut for Wilkes-Barre, you need a veteran goaltender to be sharing the time with him. That's usually how they handle that when they have a young goalie coming in like that.
All right, Taylor, we're going to have some fun
Yeah.
because we just went through a 3-day weekend, which are always fun, let's be honest. But this was a 3-day weekend where we were supposed to have, 600 inches of snow. I never believed it. I kept looking at my phone and it was like a high of 39, low of 29, and that's like what, a 2% chance that it's going to be cold enough that
just
we're actually going to
raining,
get the snow? It just rained. It just rained. But I want to talk to you about food.
Yeah.
Because we order a lot of food or go out and, you know, pick stuff up when you think that the weather's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where you order food and you almost feel like shamed or ashamed, or the delivery guy makes you feel like...
Well, I think, okay, if the weather's bad and I just don't want to go to the store, or if like our schedules, if there's a lot going on and I can't really I don't have the time, I'll order a lot of food on Grubhub. And like, I don't know, I've been doing a lot of Chinese food lately, like beef and broccoli, and when the delivery person remembers you, that's not a good feeling. Like when he comes to the door and he's like, "Oh, you again," and like, all right, I can't get Chinese food for a couple weeks now because he remembers me.
Oh, the Jersey girl ordered food again. My favorite, like in my group of friends, we've always joked about when you order like just General Tso's and white rice, but you'll get like 2 cans of Coke or something because you need a drink. They'll come and they'll bring like 3 or 4 of like the plastic knife and fork sets, and you're like, dude, like this is like one order of General Tso's. Like I know that you can like split these up and eat a bunch of rice and stuff like that, and egg rolls, whatever you want. But like one order, like I don't need 4 sets of silverware.
I'm always worried about like the food people judging me, because like, you know, you can get a lot of food at once and like it'll be leftovers. But like I'll go to Subway and like if I'm getting like 2 6-inches, one for now, one for later, like I'll like act like I'm reading off my phone, like it's like I'm ordering for someone else too, but like no, this is all for me. But like I feel weird ordering that much food at one time.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, we're on the road all the time. Like every time we stop someplace, like when we're on the road traveling, I'll go to Subway and I'll get like 2 foot-long subs, and you want to save one for the next day for lunch, save some money, whatever the case is. You always get this look that's like, you're a big guy. Like, are you really gonna eat like 2 foot-long sandwich? Like, no, dude, I'm gonna save one. But you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I also feel like that. So like, a lot of people are going to the grocery store panicking before the storm. And like I went to the store too, but like I waited until like I didn't want to go in the middle of the day, and I was like, it's gonna be way too busy. And like I also had to buy like toilet paper and eggs, and I was like,
as people do.
I was like, I don't like I'm actually out. Like I don't want I don't want to look like I'm panicking.
I actually want to make an omelet tomorrow. Like I'm not freaking out for
like
long-term
I need
survivability.
milk for my coffee. I'm not like stockpiling in case we get snowed in by a blizzard. You know.
With that said, it still did take me like an hour to warm up my car. So.